Breaking news. The UK goes into lockdown. They're desperately searching for hundreds of cases of the Wuhan supervirus after a super spreader came flying into London from Geneva. Tons of people on the airplane, tons of people at the airport. They've shut down schools, hospitals, a nursing home. They've shut down a yoga class. Ladies and gentlemen, tons of people have been infected by the coronavirus. It's even showing up in their prisons. Lots of interesting news to cover, as well as the bombshell information that's on our website right now, stfnreport.com, with the scientific studies showing the evolution of this virus in the labs. It's unreal, but we've got the people responsible for this virus. And what they've done, according to their scientific papers, is they've created a hybrid virus using a human immunodeficiency-based pseudovirus system with cell lines expressing the ACE2 molecules of human. It's incredible. We've got the lab, and it's not just Chinese, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the lab. We've got the people responsible for this virus. We've got the bombshell report by Epoch Times. You really need to check out that article translated from Chinese. You've got all of the scientific papers and the like. We're also learning that the Chinese are dumping tons and tons of disinfectant into their sewer system because it's spreading through the sewer gas. And this weapon is designed to basically take out an entire city through the sewer system, as well as spreading through the air. You may have never heard of that before, but it's like Legionnaire's disease, except it's not coming from the air conditioning, it's coming from the sewer system. We're also getting the first disturbing videos of children en masse being killed by this weaponized super virus. And what's troubling here is that there's just no red alert being given in America for people. They're just being set up for extermination. And we're hearing that they're setting up quarantine camps next to major airports as we speak, military camps to quarantine people. And we can expect, the very same syndrome in America. The UK has already gone into lockdown. They've passed a series of new laws aimed at quote-unquote terrorists, as well as to quarantine people against their will, to arrest them. Now we're seeing in China that they're locking people in the buildings or liquidating the buildings and sending them to their hospitals that they built in 5 days right next to the crematorium. They're not telling you how bad it is because it's a weapon. They don't want you to know how to try to even defeat it. But we're trying to get as much information out there translated for people, and it's going through the sewers. It's coming up the pipes. It can survive on surfaces for up to 9 days, if not more. Coronaviruses are known to survive for up to 28 days, and even in warm temperatures. Right now, Singapore is like 80 degrees, and they're melting down because of this virus. It's not going to go away in the summertime like you might have heard, this will be gone by April. This will still be spreading in the summer, more than likely, ladies and gentlemen. And that's just the beginning of the bad news. It's an airborne virus that can land in your eye and infect you like pink eye. And so you need goggles, you need basically the respirator, and you're going to need lots of guns and ammo because everything is just going to degenerate. You can't imagine them being able to maintain order in America when they declare their medical martial law. And it's just going to be, mass panic, looting, violence, and the like. You've seen how they're ambushing cops right now. It's like, it's already like an urban jungle out there, and it's only going to get worse. This is going to be your new life for quite some time. You better prepare and not be like the sheeple out there that don't even see this coming. That's part of the New World Order trap. They don't want you to know how bad this virus is until it's too late. until you basically have to go through, their new checkpoints, their new temperature checkpoints. You're going to have to get the new vaccine. You're going to have to get the chip to prove that you got a vaccine. You're going to want to go cashless because this virus is going to stick around cash, the mail. People won't even know how they got infected. It's coming up through the sewer pipes. You can get it off, the letters that you get in the mailbox. And as soon as it starts hitting, the schools and the like, it's just going to be everywhere. And you got super smears. On the left here, we got this lady that's now touching like door handles. She's infected. She's touching all the door handles. And we've seen all sorts of super spreaders, dream up of new ways to basically, light new fires in this epidemic. And so, yeah, we may have to, spray everybody down and start arresting people that are suspected of, being infected. And you can bet that if, you're friends with Tommy Robinson or Julian Assange, they're going to say that you're infected and they're going to bring you to their camps. And again, these makeshift hospitals that they've built out there in China are just blocks away from like the major crematoriums out there, and they're burning nonstop 24/7. And we're seeing the first images of dead children here. At the beginning they told us, oh, it's just old people, it's just 2%. Now it's like 15% body bags of children. And it's in the schools. In the UK, it's in the schools. They've shut down numerous schools. In France, it's in the schools. They've shut down numerous schools. It's spreading. And then they're just kind of, using this as an excuse to basically unleash tyranny, especially on, pretty young women out there. You can bet you're going to get the extra temperature check. And if you don't comply, you're just going to disappear into one of these clinics. Get your ammo, get your networks ready, because this is going to get real bad. This is much, much worse than you could even dream of in terms of what this virus is. How it spreads, how long it lasts on surfaces, how it's never been out there in the environment before. Nobody's really immune to it for the most part. And it's got all sorts of ways to evade detection. We're hearing that it doesn't show up on the standard PCR test. That's why they let that guy go in San Diego. It's they just didn't detect it. It doesn't come out right 50% of the time. So, you're just never going to get it all. And it just takes a little bit of it to just, spread like wildfire. And it's thanks to these demons, to this new world order that have, basically sprayed you like bugs since 9/11 with the GMOs, the pesticides, the fluoride in the water, the vaccines, the death towers. They've turned our cities into a giant concentration camp, and instead of using the Zyklon B, they're using the Zyklon C for coronavirus, if you will. And it's just become too easy for them to liquidate and exterminate. And nobody's going to help you once they say that you've been infected, ladies and gentlemen. It's the perfect cover-up. It's the perfect getaway plan. People need to call this out for what it is. And they need to understand that this government is 110% involved with the spread of this virus. They're totally looking the other way. It's like 9/11. The planes are 10 miles out. The planes are 20 miles out in reverse. Do the orders still stand? Of course the orders still stand. And that's because this is another 9/11 plus Fukushima combined with a little, Syria, false flag mixed in with it. And they've been, using the fake chemical attacks in Syria as a pretext to invade. They like that strategy, the fear, the terror that it causes, and the like. And they're no different. They're no different. And obviously, in this next election cycle, we've got a real bleak choice between, a handful of fuck-ups. Let's just be honest here. And, this is the best we can do. This is the best we can do. If you think that, Trump is on your side, then ask yourself, why did they make 5G a national security priority? They're gonna roll out 5G and on every street. And EMF radiation, it basically makes you immunosuppressant, and it suppresses your immune system. And so it weakens your immune system. It makes you more susceptible to all viruses. not only the super virus, but even the common cold. You get a lot of people saying, oh, we should worry about the cold. Yeah, you should, with these death hours, with the cell phones, with the Wi-Fi and the like. It's meant to weaken your defense systems. That way, when the cold gets you, people are like, oh, it's just the flu, man. That sucks. And they don't ask any more questions. This is like a new type of tyranny. And of course, everybody's on their list. And so they'll be coming for you. As far as what's happening in China right now, it's not getting any better. The footage that we're getting is, it seems like it's getting worse. It's spreading to all the other cities, and now they're sending people back to work and the like, and so it's going to continue to spread. It's not going anywhere anytime soon, even if like the biggest projections are where we're at with 2 million people infected, 50,000 people dead. It's still got 1,498,000,000 people to go, at least, just in China. So, I mean, this thing is far from burning out. And, when you see them liquidating, arresting, basically unleashing terror on their country, their own country, as well as arresting, journalists and the like, and you see people dropping dead everywhere. I mean, you just have to imagine the worst. But we really want to get this new information out there. And that's, this will spread through the sewers. It'll spread through, ventilation. It'll spread through the air. It lasts for days in the air. It's like weaponized anthrax, and everybody's like coughing it up, or breathing it out. And so there's like no escaping, contamination unless you basically live in a shed somewhere, like, the Unabomber or something. And otherwise, there's no escape. Now, most people will be okay, but a lot of people are going to die. If the numbers are anywhere near 20%, we're talking tens of millions of people, body bags everywhere. It's going to get ugly. And, who survives, who makes it, and who doesn't is another story. But what's going to be left in the aftermath is a total tyranny like you've never seen before. And people need to understand that this was not an accident. This was done by design. And right now, this administration is letting this thing, do what it's doing best, which is to creep up on you and blow up like an A-bomb in your city. And, when President Trump was tweeting about the Ebola thing quite a few years ago, he's like, shut everything down, lock everything down, keep these people from coming in, And now look at him. It's just like on everything else, he's become a hypocrite and, quite honestly, a threat to our national security. And I think people need to kind of see past the 401k, because once this thing explodes, in your neighborhood, you can kiss your 401k goodbye. They're coming back for it. It's a big club and you're not in it, just like the George Carlin speeches. And you should have been paying attention since 9/11. You've woken up, about what these people are capable of. And this is exactly what these people excel at: mass extermination, mass murder, and just making it look like, it was an accident, plausible deniability. You don't know exactly for sure, but we've got the labs, we've got the researchers, the scientists, the people who funded this virus have been exposed. The information is on our website right now, stfnreport.com. And what they've done is they've literally, admittedly, mixed this in with what's known as an immunodeficiency virus-based pseudovirus system. So we're going to have to break that down. But there's a reason why it had the inserts of HIV. There's a reason why the HIV drugs work a little bit with this virus, but it's not the only way this thing operates. It's like a hybrid of every disease pretty much out there. And it's stealthy. It's made to just basically, strike massively before anybody knows what's happened. And this virus is probably much, much further along than they think it is. There's a case developing in the UK right now in a prison, and this guy just arrived from Thailand, basically at the beginning of when they just happened to announce one confirmed case. And if this guy was infected at that time and it was, already massive over there way back then, how massive must it be now, ladies and gentlemen? Never forget, these demons on television are trying to kill you. They're the ones responsible for the death towers. They're responsible for the fluoride, for the GMOs. They're responsible, for the vaccines. And they have the mark of the beast to prove it right there on your forehead, their forehead. And, they want you to have the mark of the beast as well. These people know that they're damned, and they want, they want to take you with them. They were so desperate to make it, they sold their souls. And then, after they got there, they realized what they're in for. They realized, oh shit. And, they're just trying to bring down as many people as they can with them. Don't trust these people on television. Be a skeptic out there as the super virus rolls into your town, and start preparing. Get all the gear, the 3M gear, as much as you can. Prepare the best you can. This thing isn't going away. It's a super red alert. This is a DEFCON 1, doomsday's clock is at midnight kind of thing. This is like, a million Fukushimas just erupted, and we're starting to learn about it now. And I'll tell you what's really bothering me a bit here is how they're just keeping all of this information to themselves, as far as, people dropping dead, children dropping dead, this thing spreading through the sewers, the fact that it was even, unleashed at all. They knew right away pretty much what it was, and they let it grow. They were trying to silence doctors, journalists, whistleblowers. They're fully complicit in the release of this virus. And it's not just them, it's our government as well. When we look at this study that's listed on our website, it's a scientific study on how they were manipulating this virus from the get-go, when they found it in bats, and then they started adding different functions to it. Yeah, I mean, there's at least 3 scientific papers here that show everything that you need to know about this virus. But when we look at the funding, it's China and Australia that are funding this. We've got, at least them. So you got the Five Eyes, and then you got, through the back door, and then you got China, that developed this virus, and they let it go with the purpose of unleashing their new, Nazi-like regimes in all respective countries. All of a sudden, the whole world is going to go Nazi, real Nazi, like Nazi Pelosi, hardcore. I mean, you see them there. They got the black, the black uniforms with like the orange, red bandanas, just like the Nazis. Mass arrest, liquidation. They're gassing people with virus. And it's going to be worldwide before you know it. In just a matter of weeks, I mean, just about every country is going to start looking like this. And it's part of the plan. And, the occult, when they're in power, it always looks the same. I invite everybody to go check out the documentary Hitler and the Occult. And as soon as they go anti-Christian, it's always the same. Mass murder, kill everybody, and it's like a Jonestown cult as well. I mean, they're suicidal. They don't care. They're anti-life. They're anti-creation. That's who these people are. And look, regardless of what happens, this is going to basically nuke at least 400 major cities around the world, according to the newest studies, as far as, where these people from Wuhan went. And so this is going to nuke Sodom and Gomorrah. People need to get out of the big cities and start preparing and start, looking at what the Chinese are doing to survive. It may include, basically locking in your libtard neighbors and the like. And we should be walling off California, speaking of libtards, right now. I mean, they're infected. So is the state of New York. They're infected. D.C. is infected as well. They need to lock these cities down and start fumigating ASAP. And they got to quit, letting these cruise ships come in. Right now, it's like a cruise ship crisis around the world. Nobody wants to let a cruise ship dock anywhere because they all got the Wuhan supervirus. They're hiding the numbers. They're hiding the severity of this virus from you. You need to know. The research is right there on our website. Everybody that's been paying attention, because we're on the, basically the front lines of the research here, replicate this in your own words, or, just mirror this content. Let people know. We've got the proof now. There's, tons of proof. Scientists now for weeks have been looking at the inserts of this virus, how it differs from, the ones that are out there in the wild. And it's just like comparing 2 pictures or 2 documents. They just got to, figure out what's different. and they've done so. It's got AIDS, it's got other properties, to make it more infectious and the like. It's coming out of the sewers. It lasts in nature for days, like 9 days, 10 days, up to 28 days. It's going to be on the money. It's going to be in the mail. It's going to be everywhere. People aren't even going to know how they've gotten infected. And, it's the perfect doomsday virus, the way it just creeps up and blows up, the way it ramps up and the like. But don't believe what, they were telling you on television the first few days. It came from bats. It only affects old people. The kill rate's only 2%. And the like. We just got to check for fever. None of it's true. What they told you was a full-blown lie from the beginning to set you up, to make you think it's okay, and that way you're gonna get it. And when I see like these rallies now that are happening, for the election and the like, those are all going to become super spreader events. This is all timed perfectly, just to melt down the entire world in just a matter of weeks. And people need to start preparing the resistance now. Get your guns, get your ammos, find your networks, and the tyranny is coming. And when it does, these people need to realize what side they're on. They're either on the side of the devil or they're on the side of life, ladies and gentlemen. And we need to be pro-life out there, because these people are pro-death and they're going to try and take out everybody. That's a guaranteed, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, the situation is much, much worse than you can possibly imagine. And we're going to leave it there for this short broadcast. We're going to upload this onto Fakebook and onto ScrewTube. And feel free to mirror it. Be sure to check out our website, stfnreport.com. We're going to be back with a live questions and answers on the ScrewTube channel. If you want to find out where that is, check out our website, stfnreport.com. We try to do a live chat every day and premieres there every day. So if you want to, join in and you're on the Fakebook crowd, check out our website, find our ScrewTube. And things always change with the mass censorship. So you want to bookmark our website, stfnreport.com. And please support our research. Ladies and gentlemen, we're listener funded, and if you want to help us out, check out patreon.com/STF News and the like. Until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this, you are the resistance.